This news is funded by viewers like you. Please support our work at democracynow.org/give. We begin today's show looking at the devastating fires in Los Angeles, where at least 10 people have died. More than 10,000 homes and offices have been damaged or destroyed. Entire neighborhoods have burned down. The death toll is expected to rise. More than 35,000 acres have already burned. The fires continue to burn due to high winds and dry conditions. The largest blaze, the Palisades fire, is just 6% contained. The Eaton fire near Pasadena remains 0% contained. Analysts project the cost of the fires may reach a record $150 billion. The climate-fueled fires come as scientists at the European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service have confirmed last year was by far the hottest year on record, with global temperatures exceeding 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial times for the first time. We're joined now by Peter Kalmus, climate activist, climate scientist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab. He's speaking on his own behalf, not on behalf of NASA. He's just written an opinion essay for the New York Times headlined, "I'm a Climate Scientist. I fled Los Angeles 2 years ago." He joins us now from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Peter, thanks so much for joining us today. Explain why you fled Los Angeles 2 years ago.
Oh, Amy, I just have to take a moment to, I don't know what to say anymore. I'll get to that in a second, but I just want to make sure the reason I wrote the piece was because we have to acknowledge that this is caused by the fossil fuel industry, which has been lying for almost half a century, blocking action. They're on the record saying that they will continue to spread disinformation and continue to attempt to block action. They've known the whole time that the planet would get hotter like this and that impacts like this fire would happen. And then a point I really wanted to make in the piece, which they wouldn't let me make, is that this is still just the beginning. It's going to get way worse than this. 2 years ago, 2020, when that Bobcat fire happened, the whole time I was living in Altadena, it was getting hotter and more fiery and drier and smokier, and it just didn't feel like I could stay there. Like I could, so when you have a trend line, things getting worse every year, right? Like, where's the point where it breaks? Like you keep going, you keep pushing the system, getting hotter and hotter, getting drier and drier, right? Like emitting more and more carbon dioxide from burning fossil fuels. Eventually, things break. I didn't expect my neighborhood to burn this soon.
Explain what's happened, Peter, in Altadena, in the town that you left.
It's complete devastation. I mean, your audience probably has seen some of the images. The neighborhood I lived it's gone. I would say the majority of my friends have lost their homes there. Every now and then there's a home that's still standing amidst the ashes and the devastation. I don't even know what kind of rebuilding after this is going to look like and feel like. I don't know how this is going to affect the housing market, the insurance industry going forward. It's the thing, again, I think everyone needs to understand, and I wish the New York Times would have let me make this point, that this is going to get worse. I can see that today just as clearly as I could see how a hotter and drier and more fiery Los Angeles was getting. I mean, I think in the future, if we don't change course very quickly, and maybe it's even too late to avoid some of these much more catastrophic impacts. But I'm fully expecting heat waves to start appearing where 100,000 people die, and then maybe 1 million people die, and then maybe more after that as things get hotter and hotter, because there's no upper limit, right? Like, we keep burning these fossil fuels. Fossil fuel industry keeps lying. The planet just keeps getting hotter. These impacts just keep getting worse. It's not a new normal. A lot of climate messaging centers around this idea that it's a new normal. It's a staircase to a hotter, more hellish Earth. And a lot of climate impact predictions have erred on the side of least drama. It's hard for even scientists to wrap our heads around how everything is changing right now on planet Earth. No matter where you look, the indicators, when spring comes, how hot the winter is, habitats that are moving, ice that's melting. Everywhere you look in the Earth system, including, of course, ocean temperatures and land surface temperatures, you're just on this trend towards a hotter planet and all the impacts that are associated with it. And I don't know what it's going to take for us to stop all these stupid wars and come together and actually deal with the emergency that our planet is in the process of becoming less and less habitable and everything that means. We humanity, we've got a real crisis here and we're ignoring it. Another paragraph they took out of the piece, both the Democratic presidents, Obama and President Biden, they were very proud to expand fossil fuels. President Obama said, all that oil and gas expansion, that was me, people, right after he was done being president at a lecture he gave at Rice University. And now, of course, we have a Republican president coming into office who says this is a hoax, who's gaslighting the people who are following him. Like, I don't know how long it's going to take for conservative working class people to believe what's right in front of their eyes, that the planet is getting hotter and that we have to come together and stop listening to these clowns who say it's a hoax. I mean, look at it's all around us. Why do I have to be on Democracy Now! Saying this? Right? It's very obvious what's happening.
Well, Peter, we thank you for being with us. We're so sorry about what's happening there in your community and all over Los Angeles. And of course, we're talking about a heating world, so around the world. And we hope to have you on next week. Peter Kalmus is a
my heart breaks for all the victims, too. It's just, I can't wrap my head around what's happening.
Democracy Now! Is funded by viewers like you. Please give today at democracynow.org/give.